Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is weigh out the beans. Come here. Watch what I'm doing. We're going to turn on the scale, make sure it's tared out to 0. For the amount of coffee I'm going to make 1 cup. I'm going to use 21 grams and 340 grams of water. And that should give us a ratio around 16 parts to 1. 16 parts water to 1 part coffee. So we got 21 grams on the scale, 21.1 grams on the scale. And we are going to take that and grind it. This is Finca Las Nubes from, I think, El Salvador. Grind that. While we do that, we're going to take our Chemex filter, 3 pieces on one side, 1 on the other, 3 go towards the front. So when the grinder makes that high-pitched noise, that means it's done usually. So we've got our coffee ground now. Give it a good tap. And we're going to come over here. And we're going to take our waters off the heat. This water we're going to just use to clean the filter. So we're just going to take this water, just going to run it through the filter so there's no papery taste whatsoever left in the filter. I like to use a good bit of water to do that. Also heats our Chemex up and gets it ready. Then we have our gooseneck kettle. Still boiling. You don't want to put boiling water right on top of your beans. You want to let it cool down just a bit from boiling. In a kettle like that, once it's boiling, wait about 30 seconds to 1 minute, and then it should be at perfect temperature. You want to dump out that water we used to clean the filter. Now we have a wet filter. We're going to set that on top of our scale. We're going to grab the coffee that's been ground, fairly coarse. It's pretty coarse coffee, fairly coarse there. We're going to take that, dump it into our Chemex. Then we're going to turn on our scale. Hit tare one more time just to make sure it's tared out. Then we're going to start our timer. So we're going to pour about 50 grams of water, being sure to wet all the coffee beans, but using the least amount of water we can to get them wet. Should be about 50 or 60 grams. After that, we're going to wait 45 seconds, maybe 50 seconds, as the coffee does what we call the bloom. And the bloom is it's releasing gas, and it's just getting it wet so that the extraction can happen better when we do the full pour over. So as I said, we're using 21 grams of ground coffee to 340 grams of water per cup. Gives us a ratio of around 16, and it makes 1 large cup of coffee, like this. So we're at about 45 seconds now. We're going to start pouring. We're going to pour until we get to 340 grams of coffee. Then we're going to make a swirl in the top using the spoon. And you want to pour fairly vigorously to sort of mix all the coffee together, but not too hard. So we're just going to watch our scale. We're going to come up to 340. Be careful not to exceed 340. It's okay if you go over slightly, because some of the water is going to evaporate. So that's 340 grams in there. We're going to then get a good swirl on it. And it should just go around and around like that for a good minute. It's probably going to take up to 2 minutes, 30 seconds, up to 3 minutes to do this 1 cup of coffee in the Chemex. So now all we're doing, we're just going to wait as it drips through. And we'll be back in just a minute to show you the finished cup.